I'm going to start this. I got to give you a little back part about this story. I don't like people buying me clothes without me around, if that makes sense to you. I don't like, my dad used to do it, right? And I had to tell him, and me and my mom had to tell him for Christmas, he just pick out clothes, and I'm like, I don't like, because, you don't just throw any old paint job on a Ferrari. You got to try, you got to make sure, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to make sure. And so, I don't like it. And Holly, if she goes to buy me clothes and stuff, I want to go to the Kids Gap with her. I do. I don't want her going with, because not all 14 youth are the same size. Well, needless to say, she bought me a puffer jacket. And she bought it, so, and I look like a very handsome man, looking like the Michelin Man. I didn't know if I loved it, right? And every time it got cold, she's like, get your puffer jacket. I was like, yay! And so, woo, and then I was just like a little snowman walking around. So sometime in January, it got hot. I had it on. I think the Lord had got warm enough, right? And so I threw it in the back seat of the Jeep, just put it down on the ground there, and forgot about it. So a few weeks ago, get up in the morning and getting going. I got bills to do, and one of the bills I get, he's like $980 stupid thing that I shouldn't have to pay. Like, it's just dumb. And so right, and so it annoyed me, but it's all right. You don't shake me up, because I always just tell when those things happen, I always tell God. I said, God, you owe me $5,000 now. I always multiply by 5. That's what you owe me $5,000, right? So it's no big deal. I'm doing all the bills, different things, and we've had a lot of graduations, and so you rectify, you're going through all that, and so, no big deal. Whatever, God's got it. And there's been a smell in my house. So as you walk out the master bedroom, there was like a 6 foot by 6 foot. You walk, you're like, in the hot of the day, you're like, oh my, what is that, right? And then it's fine. And it's in the heat of the day. And so we finally realized that an animal had died in our wall somewhere. I know. Oh, my God. And I don't know. How do you do? I don't even know how to deal. I've never had that. It sounds like maybe it could be a normal problem, but how do you deal with an animal dead in your wall? I'm like, I could pray, honey, and raise it from the dead, but then we'd have like a little zombie rat running around the walls. I don't know if I want that. I don't think I want it alive. Right? I don't want that. So what do? Well, you call Vince. And Vince is like, I'm like, Vince, what do you do? He's like, I don't know, I'll come over. And we just cut a bunch of holes in the wall, right? And so we do. He's cutting holes, and we thought it'd be down low. And guess what? It's funny that we started low, and it was actually in the ceiling. And so we cut 5 big holes to finally find the dead rat up in the ceiling, right? And so I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I get a phone call, right? But it didn't stress me out, because I live in peace. I walk on the path of peace. I get a phone call, and the big, massive, everything shut down at the business. It all shut, the phones, the internet, everything was down. And so I hop in the Jeep, and, I throw a little Joel on, because Joel makes me feel like a champion. He's like, you can do it, Scott. You're amazing. I'm like, you're right, Joel. How did you know that? And so I got the doors off the Jeep, I got the little Nerf doors, and so I'm pulling out, and I go to flap down my visor, and I go like this, a new Jeep, and it goes, boop, and I've never had it in my life. It falls down, and it's just hanging by a cord that does the garage thing. It's just swinging. I'm like, what in the world is that? And so I'm trying to get it, it's just swinging, and trying to get it up, and I'm driving, right? And then I see in the road, there's a 5-gallon bucket of paint sitting in the road. Now, when I was in my 20s and 30s, my reaction time was stellar. It was unbelievable. I'm going to have you walk like we're going to do moment by moment together, and you're going to be in Scotty's brain to see my reaction time in live time. This is real time right here. So I saw it, and I go, I wonder what that is. And I go, oh, that's paint. That's a 5-gallon bucket of paint. And I go, you know what? I got to paint the garage. I got to go get paint. And then I go, oh, wait, I don't want to run that over. Oh, I ran it over. Okay, well, that stinks. It's exactly how it happened. I didn't even swerve. There wasn't a swerve. There was nothing. I just ran it over. And you know how the big tires on a Jeep does? It's real fun. It sprays paint, right, for about a mile. just everything, all down the side of my arm, because I had my arm sticking out, like just white paint everywhere. I said, and that's what I do. I'll teach you all this. I just laughed at it. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, whatever. It's fine, right? And I'm like, whoo. Like I jumped up to about a 5 real quick, and then I dropped down. And so then I get to the place of business, right? And I get out, and I look at the paint, and I go to close my Nerf door, and it goes, junk, junk. It makes a noise. I'm like, junk, junk. And so then, my stress went up to 7, and I threw everything into that door, and it closed with such a noise, I went, he may never open again. But I went over, and the paint comes off, just everywhere, but it's going to come off. I go in, I'm working on it, there's just problems everywhere. It's no big deal, we'll figure it out. I'm bringing peace. I bring peace wherever I go. Come on, guys, we got it, we'll figure this out. And then I get a phone call, it's Holly. I'm like, well, I ain't got time. And then it rings again. I'm like, stop it, right? And then it rings again. I'm like, hello. And she goes, you're on your way, right? And then I go, of course I am. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. But that's how you always answer that. She's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah. Where am I going, though, by the way? I just wanted to know. She's like, you're picking up Savvy from school. And I looked at the time, and it's a 30-minute drive, and it's only 15 minutes till time. So I'm like, yeah, I'm on the road, baby. Got to go, all right? So I jump out, and then I have to climb in the Jeep, Dukes Hazard style, because I don't want to open that door and have it not open, which at 52, it was not it looked like a sea lion trying to climb a ladder. It was the ugliest thing you've ever seen in your life. And in my mind, I thought, like, if I went head first, it would look better. Didn't look better at all. I get in the Jeep, and I'm flying down the 202. I'm doing 80, right? And the wind is just blowing everywhere, right? And then I'm listening to Joel. Joel's telling me, this is a great day. I'm like, you're right, Joel. It's a great day. Thank you, Joel. And then all of a sudden, my radio shut off. It just went, bloop, nothing. And it wouldn't turn on. It just died. My radio and my new Jeep just dead. And I went, God, I said, I need something now. You owe me something. I need a blessing in my life. And at that very moment, it sounded like a condor was taken off in the back seat. It's like, bop, 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 bop. There's a flapping and I look in the mirror, and my puffer jacket's going, bop, 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 bop. And then it went, oh, whoosh, and it shot out the side of the Jeep, right on the 202. And I said, God, you found a way to bless my day in the midst of all of my problems. Thank you, Lord.